Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to Tony the Technician's channel. And today on Tool Talk episode 16, we're moving into a socket set that I have really enjoyed. No, it is not a professional grade or a tool truck brand socket set, but this video is more aimed for do-it-yourselfers and people just getting into the automotive field. So this set's going to run you around $200. It's a 192 piece set. Some people might be blown away by the price, but if you're getting into this field, that is really decent price. And it is the DeWalt 192 piece set. I've really enjoyed it. I use it here at home. I've never had a problem with it. There are some great items in this and some items that I would just recommend for do-it-yourselfers, and we'll get into that, but we'll get into it as the video progresses. So the thing that I like about this set is this one in particular doesn't come with any wrenches, but it comes with a very wide variety of sockets, all three drive sizes, 1/4 inch, 3/8, and 1/2 inch drive, and a few other little things here and there. But this is a picture of what we're talking about. I would like to show you the case and everything in it, but as you guys know, if you watch my previous videos, it's all sorted throughout my toolbox. I don't keep it in the blow molded case anymore. But I would recommend this to any do-it-yourselfer. The set has worked great for me, and anybody getting into this field. It will work great until you can earn that money and get a better footing and everything to where you can afford that better socket set. Because if you're getting into this field, tools are definitely going to be an investment, and it comes with time and money, obviously. So I'm going to show you the things I like about this set, and I really hope you guys enjoy. They also have other sets like a 108 piece set and a 200 piece set. The 200 piece set like this comes with wrenches but not as many sockets. That's why I chose the 192 piece set over the 200, because I really needed more sockets than I did wrenches, because I already have wrenches, and at the time I didn't need them. So you guys can kind of decide between the two sets. Obviously the sockets and everything are going to be the same, but let's get into the details now, and I hope you guys enjoy. If you do, please make sure to hit that thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and as always, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Thank you guys. Starting out with this DeWalt set, I want to mention something real quick. Now there are other sets out there that you can get store brand that will do a good job for do-it-yourselfers and will still be good for people starting out in the automotive field, such as Cobalt, Husky, Craftsman, and the Pittsburgh 301 piece set. A lot of people get those because they're really cheap prices and fairly decent tools. Now, eventually, once you get a better footing in the automotive field and you're starting to make some money, you can upgrade your sockets and ratchets and stuff like that. But when you order one of these sets or you buy one of these sets, you might actually find some of the items are actually really nice and you might not have to upgrade them, such as this DeWalt set. If I was using it in the automotive field, I wouldn't necessarily worry about upgrading the sockets anytime soon. They should last quite a while. But one thing I would upgrade are the ratchets that come with the set. Now, not saying that these ratchets don't operate smoothly, because they do. I've had zero issues with these ratchets. But the design flaw in these is how bulky they are. They're extremely bulky. This is a 1/4 inch drive, 3/8 drive, and 1/2 inch drive. If you look at this 1/2 inch drive, it's extremely bulky. Now, it's well made, but it's very heavy, and you really don't have a lot of leverage. For this being a 1/2 inch drive, usually when you're using a 1/2 inch drive ratchet, you're looking for leverage, where here you're getting maybe 12 inches of leverage, so not a whole lot for a 1/2 inch ratchet. They do operate smoothly, and DeWalt does have a good warranty, no hassle, so if you ever have an issue with any of your sockets or anything that comes with the set, it is easily replaced. They will replace it either that day or the next day. They will get it shipped out to you. We'll get into the downside of buying store brand tools over tool truck brand tools, but we'll get into that in the end. So you get a good warranty with these and most store-bought tools, but just keep in mind that these ratchets might not do the best in the automotive field. So if you were to buy a set like this DeWalt one, I would keep everything, and if you have the money, go ahead and upgrade your ratchets. Now, whatever you do, don't feel bad about buying a DeWalt, Harbor Freight, Craftsman, Husky socket set. Don't let anybody make you feel ashamed of buying these, because if you can't afford the expensive stuff, that is okay. You're just starting out. You just use what you can afford, get as many jobs done as possible. Don't let people affect how you feel about the tools that you have. Just do your absolute best, and as you progress, you can upgrade your tools. But those are the 3 ratchets that you're going to get. They're all 72 tooth for a 5-degree arc swing. They do have a quick release action, and the reverse lever works really well. Downside being the length and the bulkiness of the ratchets. What we have here are the metric sockets from the DeWalt set. This DeWalt set part number is Delta Whiskey Mike Tango 75049, and it is a 192 piece set. Like I stated, the 3 ratchets are 72 tooth design. Then you get a bunch of sockets, extensions, Allen keys, and bit sockets. So starting off, before we move into the sockets, you do get these 2 sets of Allen keys, the metric being from 1.5 millimeter to 7 millimeter, and then the SAE being 3/64 through 9/16. So you get a good variety of Allen keys. I don't use Allen keys a whole lot, but it's always nice to have in the set. So besides the Allen keys, this entire row right here is all DeWalt. Don't worry about the impact grade stuff, that is not DeWalt. So here at the bottom we have all 1/4 inch on the first row. This is the shallow and the deep well, going from 4 to 14, 4 to 14 in both shallow and deep. Then the 3/8 drive in the second row is all shallow. 3/8 drive from 10 millimeter to 21 millimeter, skipping 20. And then you have the deep well 3/8 as well, 10 through 21, skipping the 20 millimeter. I don't know why they skip 20, but they do. And then you have the Allen bit sockets 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And that's all 1/4 inch and 3/8 drive shallow and deeps. And then up here we have the shallow and deep 1/2 inch drive metric sockets. And you have 12 through 19, and then 21, 22, and 24. Now I do have this Harbor Freight rail, and I do have the other sockets that I filled in with other brands, but that is what you get from the DeWalt. Moving into the SAE sockets. So once again, same thing for the 1/4 inch shallow and deep. Move this out of the way. You have 5/32 through 9/16, 5/32 through 1/2 inch for the deep. So that's all 1/4 inch shallow and deep, and then 3/8 shallow, 3/8 deep, and that is a 1/4 inch through 7/8 for the shallow, and a 1/4 inch through 7/8 on the deep well. And then you have your 3 spark plug sockets, which is 5/8, 3/4, and 13/16, and they are the rubber boot style, which is just fine, but you do get 3 drive size spark plugs, or 3 spark plug sides. And then you have the 5/32, yes, 3/16, 1/4 inch, and 5/16 Allen keys here. And then you do get each drive size universal. You get the 1/4 inch drive universal swivel, you get the 3/8 drive, and a 1/2 inch drive swivel as well. So that's pretty nice. It's not too often you get a 1/2 inch drive swivel. And then also one thing I forgot to mention is you also have these adapters in the DeWalt set, 1/4 inch to 3/8, 3/8 to 1/4 inch, and 1/2 inch to 3/8. And then after moving on after the 1/4 inch and 3/8 sockets, once again up here we have the 1/2 inch drive SAE sockets, and that ranges from 7/16 to 1 inch in the shallow, and 7/16 through 1 inch in the deep as well. And moving on to the extensions, you do get a good variety of extensions with this DeWalt set as well. You get 3 1/4 inch drive extensions, which is really nice. And then you also have 3 3/8 drive extensions. They're not wobble or anything like that. They're your standard 3/8 or your standard extensions, but they do work nice. They hold the sockets well. And then you also get 1/2 inch drive extensions as well. You get a 6 inch, and then you even get a longer extension as well, about 12 inches. So a good variety of extensions with the DeWalt set. These are all Torx bit sockets from DeWalt as well, and it goes from T10 to T45. And then I have a T50 here, but that's not DeWalt. So you get T10 through T45, which is a good variety of Torx bits, and I just keep them down here. So I keep the Allens on the rail and the Torx down here on this smaller rail. But you do get a good variety of both Torx and Allens, both SAE and metric. Alrighty YouTubers, so before I wrap this up, I want to kind of go over these sockets. Now every single DeWalt socket will have this knurling around the base of the socket, and then the drive size, or the size of the socket, laser etched in, as well as DeWalt and the part number. I do like that setup. I like the knurling around the base of the socket, but how this differs is every single socket has knurling, whereas like a gear wrench socket, they have knurling on their metric and just two base lines on their SAE sockets, so you can determine which one's SAE and which one's metric. But I really do like the knurling feature, so I can grab it and turn it even if there's oil or any lubricant on the socket. Now another difference is they are well made, but the broaching, if you look down inside, the broaching of the DeWalt is pretty close to the base of the socket, whereas on the gear wrench and other brands such as Snap-on and Matco, a lot of the broaching is closer to the top, so when you go to start a fastener, say a bolt or a nut on a stud, you can simply put it in the socket without the fastener falling all the way to the bottom. It kind of holds it towards the top so you can get it started with the socket. Whereas the DeWalt set, it does sit a ways deeper, so your fastener does tend to fall further down and it's harder to get a fastener started. So that is one downside to the DeWalt sockets or their deep well. Not a huge deal on the shallow sockets, but on the deep wells, the broaching is a little bit lower than some of your other brands. I just wanted to point that out. One more thing I do want to mention about this set is it is all 6-point sockets, so it's not it's not very often that you come across a 12-point fastener, but it is possible, especially in the automotive field. You will come across like head bolts or head studs, oil pan bolts, drive shaft bolts, and stuff like that that are occasionally a 12-point fastener. So it's nice that this set is 6-point, because I do like to use 6-point whenever possible because it causes less rounding or less chance of rounding a fastener. But you will come across those occasions where you need a 12-point socket, and in that case I would just suggest going out and just buying a small 12-point socket set or a rail of 12-point sockets to fit your needs. But let's talk about the downside to buying Craftsman, Cobalt, DeWalt, all of these store brand tools. Now, granted, they're not going to be as of quality as Snap-on or Matco or anything like that, but they're going to get the job done until you can afford that better set. And they do have a lifetime warranty on most of these tools. Sometimes some brands can be a pain, some of them are extremely easy, just depending on where you purchase them from. But even if you don't have a problem at all getting them warranted, if you're in the professional field, it might be a pain if you need that broken product right away. If I would break my 10mm, yes, it would be simple for me to just go buy another 10mm in the meantime, but you would have to wait for that product to be sent to you. Whereas a tool truck brand, most of the time they can get it that week, as long as they can get a hold of their dealer, or if their dealer is stopping by real soon. So tool truck brand tools are really easy to warranty, most of the time easier than a store-bought tool, but it all depends on where you purchase them as well. So just keep that in mind. But as far as do-it-yourselfers, any of these brands will work great for you. If you're a professional starting out, do not let other people and their expensive tools get you down on what you can afford. Get what you can afford and do the best work possible. And then later on, focus on upgrading whatever you need to. It doesn't mean you need to upgrade everything like this DeWalt set. I would use these sockets as long as possible because they have tight tolerances. They're very accurate, so they're good. I'm happy with them. But as far as the ratchets, that would be something I would upgrade. But other than that, that's really all I have for you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this review of the DeWalt 192 piece set, this one right here. But also keep in mind they have the 200 piece set, 108 piece set, and then you have a whole lot of other brands, but I did want to show you the one that I really enjoy for here at home that I've had zero issues with. Thank you guys so much, and if you enjoyed, please make sure to hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below, and as always, subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Thank you guys.